2019 25th Anniversary National Legends Cars Championship is sponsored by 24 Hour Solutions. No problems, only solutions. Warm welcome along to Programme 5 of the 2019 24 Hour Solutions National Legends Cars Championship, our 25th anniversary of Legends Cars racing here in the UK, and our second of 3 meetings at Brands Hatch. We open and close the season at Brands, and this leads into our mid-season break. And this meeting part of the massive American Speed Fest, which is a big meeting for regular race fans and introduces a lot of newcomers into viewing our sport as well. The championship led by Cy Harraway after Anglesey. Miles Rudman is second from John Mickle, Jack Parker fourth from Connor Mills, and Marcus Pett in sixth.
Robin, been a while since we saw you out. We saw you at Brands Hatch at the beginning of the year. You weren't out at Anglesey, but how are you finding the qualifying and ready for this weekend?
Yeah, qualifying was pretty good actually. I didn't think the car was handling that well, but I come 5th overall fastest, so I'm pleased with that. So we'll see what race 1 is like.
Past champion, be it year 2000, was it?
That's right, yeah, rookie champion 99, champion, full championship winner in 2000.
So experienced at the sport, but maybe a bit rusty. Obviously you've had time out growing the business as well, and so now you're back. What's it like? We've got a lot of newcomers and a lot of seasoned drivers as well.
Yeah, it's a lot more competitive, where before when I raced you probably had like top 5 or 6. Now you got probably the pick of top 10 or even 12. So it is more competitive, but other than that, really the cars haven't changed too much.
But being past champion, you're not going to just sort of be at the back of the pack, are you? You're going to try and go for those top scores.
Yeah, I never come here to make the numbers up, you know. I always like to be in the thick of it, so yeah, and it's just have a good time.
So James, just been awarded the John Nichol Award, which is a very prestigious award based on a good friend of Legends, one of the guys that introduced them, in fact, to the track many years ago, and is given to drivers who are performing extremely well, are good for the sport, and you're the winner.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shock to be fair, but we're over the moon with it, seeing as Anglesey, we didn't quite get the results we wanted. The pace was there, but just had a few unfortunate accidents within the race which cost us a few points. But no, it's something to take away. It's quite nice to remember John. I don't personally know him, but I know my dad does from the younger days of Legends, so it's really nice to take a little something back and still remember him.
John was the main player, not only with the Legends but with the BARC, and put the first sort of half dozen Legends on the grid, and it went on from there. Now it's grown since, and obviously we've got a lot of seasoned drivers. For newcomers such as yourself, and also based on the fact that you're one of the younger ones on the grid, quite a hard task, and yet we've done pretty well so far.
Yeah, we've been a bit of a surprise this year, to be honest, with what pace we've got and consistency. But it's just, people say that if you come into Legends, it's going to take you 3 years because you've got to learn the tracks year in, year out. You've got to learn the car year in, year out and try different setups to suit you in the wet or dry. So yeah, to be fair, we're happy. We just hope that the season carries on the way that we started.
Well, we've followed your progress over the last year or two, and we're doing really well now. Coming on to the 5th round, Brands Hatch, beautiful day, second in qualifying.
Yeah, we've built a brand new car up after the big accident here a few months ago. So at Anglesey we just started to get to the bottom of the setup and some of the niggles we had to begin with a fresh build, and yeah, we're happy. The car's flying, so hopefully we can keep that pace up all weekend.
Different sort of track, different sort of weather, so is that going to play in your favour or not?
Yeah, I mean everyone's done lots of laps around Brands, so everyone's quick around here. The hardest bit is going to be keeping the car cool and keeping yourself cool. Get pretty hot in these cars. We run a lot of fireproof layers, and yeah, just trying to keep cool and keep focused.
Two of the guys we just heard from are on the front of the grid. James Morton on pole in the red and silver car, and the gunmetal machine of Marcus Pett to the outside. Row 2, John Mickle, former champion, or current champion we should say, multiple champion as well, with to his outside Paul Simmons, Nathan Anthony right behind him, Nick Bridgman on the inside of row 3 in blue. But we go racing, great start by Marcus Pett, who gets into Paddock Hill Bend first, but James Hall Morton coming up as well. Great onboard shot from Jonty Norman in the mix. Round the outside goes Will Gibson, and they've all made it safely through Paddock Hill Bend, and it's James Hall Morton that leads them through Druids. There's Miles Rudman, second in the championship, 4 wide. There's contact, Jonty Norman and Rob King. King is off the circuit, will hopefully rejoin and get going again as they go through Graham Hill Bend for the first time. Rob Fountain there in red and black is 5th. So 3 of the drivers we heard from up at the sharp end of things. Nick Bridgman looking at the back end of Ricky Leggett in the black and white 26. Cy Haraway is in 6th place, championship leader there in the black 83. Haraway leads the championship from Miles Rudman. John Mickle with Jack Parker in 4th place. Jack not racing with us this weekend. He's picked up an injury, I believe, after a little cycling incident. We wish him well. I guess luckily for him there's a little bit of a break before we go to Donington Park. But Jack Parker, wish you well, mate. Hope to see you back on track soon. On board with Connor Mills, who looks down the inside line of Ricky Leggett here as they go to Paddock Hill Bend. Inside line for Nathan Anthony in the van, running with Connor Mills. Connor on the inside there of Ricky Leggett. That car will be raced by Tom Granger in programme 6, which is tomorrow's racing. Miles Rudman down the inside line. Miles has been super consistent this year. As we look up try and grab the front, John Mickle looking for the race lead. We've got 2 cars off, I think Phil Turner and Bill Reid on the exit of Graham Hill Bend. It is Bill Reid in the 67 car. He's rolling back, so it looks like he will hopefully get going. He's got a lap to be able to get the car moving and off the track as the lead cars go across the line. John Mickle challenging for the lead. Marcus Pett the leader at the moment. Miles Rudman still in between the 2 yellow fellas there. They go into Paddock Hill Bend. John Mickle looking up the inside line. Bill Reid waving frantically, can't get the car moving. Mickle's got the lead before they get into the yellow flag zone, and that's at Druid. Safety car is scrambled, ironically, after where Bill Reid is, but the marshals are slowing everybody down. There is John Mickle now in the lead. Marcus Pett second. James Hall Morton in 3rd place. And you can see the fact that the marshals have got, the officials have got them all slowed down, and that will save any big incidents on Bill Reid's car. So a good call by the officials and great work by the marshals, and the car is towed away to safety, and hopefully the Bridgman Motorsport team will get Bill Reid out ready for race 2. Safety car lights are off. We're ready to go racing with John Mickle, the multiple champion, leading this race. He still hasn't had a win this year, but he has been, as ever, super consistent. He's on 17.95 points. Miles Rudman on 18.90, as you saw at the top of the programme. Cy Haraway on 19.50 points. It's John Mickle that will lead them at the restart of the race here at the American Speedfest. There's the green flag. We are Legends Cars racing again at Brands Hatch. Through they go. Rob King at the back trying to recover from that little bit of contact that saw him off. Now around the outside goes Will Gibson. Cy Haraway on the inside of former champion Rob Fountain in the 31. Rob only raced Legends 2 years, and I've said this before, but he's actually got less Legends cars experience than 2/3 of the field here, believe it or not. Down the inside goes Cy Haraway, this year's championship leader, last year's rookie champion. Rob Fountain forced to run a little bit wide. Connor Mills still making progress as well. Connor is 6th in the championship, a little way back than further back than he would like to be, and probably further back than we would expect him to be, but he's had a few engine problems, a couple of DNFs as well, but still in the mix and picking up points. And here he's going to have a look at Nathan Anthony. He gets on the back bumper of Nathan. There they go across the line. Superb sight and sound these Legends cars make into Paddock Hill Bend. Rob Fountain going into Paddock Hill Bend in front of Miles Rudman. Meanwhile, John Mickle still out front from Marcus Pett. Then it's James Hall Morton. Will Gibson joining the lead trio now, so it's a quartet for first place. James, good to see him winning the John Mickle Trophy. John, incidentally, was with the BRSCC, who instigated Legends racing here in the UK, and a much missed figure, and great that we remember him each year with the trophy awarded for racing the race meeting traditionally on Anglesey, which was our last round, and James putting pressure on the second place car. I tell you what, it's going to be more than a quartet. This has been absolutely typical of Legends Racing so far this year. Cy Haraway in 5th, on board with Marcus Pett. Look how close the 32 car gets, and Marcus Pett going high and wide up into Paddock Hill Bend, being bump charted in by James Hall-Morton. And that extra speed works, and Pett goes into the lead. James Hall-Morton round the outside of the multiple champion going into second place. John Mickles relegated to 3rd, and John had nobody to work with there, but I'm sure he will have later on in the race. The Firth Steels 32 car looking round the outside line, and now it is very much a quintet for lead position. Pett, Hall-Morton, Mickle, Will Gibson. Cy Haraway has come through and is up in 5th place. Championship leader here is ahead of Miles Rudman, so John Mickle at the moment will pull a few points back on Cy Haraway. But Miles Rudman will see the championship lead extended slightly. Remember, the second race is a reverse grid, so we'll see the drivers off the front starting at the back, riding on board with Will Gibson once again. What will Will do? Is he going to look to the outside line as James Hall-Morton did last time round? No, he can't quite do it, hasn't got the pace, but he might work with John Mickle to try and close down on the leaders as James Hall-Morton goes to the outside line, then thinks about going for the cut back on the inside, but it's Marcus Pett still out front at the moment. James Hall-Morton in 2nd, on board with Will Gibson. Looking back, Cy Haraway goes round the outside line. Cy dives his way round there trying to chase John. James up ahead of him. Marcus Pett still the leader, down into Graham Hill Bend. Look at that move by Cy Haraway, hung on to the outside line. That converts to the inside at Graham Hill Bend. And Cy Haraway, the championship leader, up into 4th position. Well thought out move there from Cy. Had the grip, had the right setup, had the round sphericals as well to go round and hang on there in the 83 car. So we've got championship leader now chasing defending champion. What a way to start this American Speedfest here at Brands Hatch. I'll tell you what, Marcus Pett is starting to build a bit of a lead. Fastest man on track is Cy Haraway, but Marcus Pett is the race leader. The chasing bunch still headed at the moment by the 31 car of Rob Fountain. Sean Smith at the back of that group. Connor Mills goes through on the inside line, chasing Miles Rudman in the Pro 24 prepared car under the Burton Power Bridge. Fountain hanging on, but is he going to have the grip here to hold on to this? We'll find out as we have more action for you after the break. So this the battle for the lead. Marcus Pett still holds on, but under immense pressure from James Hall-Morton in the 32 car. John Mickle not too far behind as well, plus the other 2 runners completing the top 5. They're heading towards the last lap here at Brands, their opening race of the weekend. The winner is going to come from the top 5. Can Marcus Pett hold his nerve and hold the lead as they go on to the last lap now? Rob Fountain being challenged by Connor Mills. Sean Smith in the black and red 21 in the mix as well, on board with Connor Mills. You can see Rob Fountain immediately ahead, and it's Marcus Pett still there, and Cy Haraway attacking to the outside line. Haraway's 3rd, gets a little bit crossed up, drops back. Mickles passed, Will Gibson passed as well. So John Mickle still in 3rd place. Haraway fights back on the inside line, retakes 4th position from Gibson. Gibson 5th, Haraway 4th, Mickle in 3rd place, Hall-Morton 2nd. Marcus Pett is the race leader, who is hanging on to it now as they come towards Clearways for the last time. James Hall-Morton goes wide, has a little bit of a wobble there. He was trying so hard to close in on Marcus Pett, and it looks like Pett is going to take a 3rd win of the 2019 campaign. Here is the view as he comes down towards the checkered flag. Pett wins, Hall-Morton 2nd, John Mickle again on the podium and taking 3rd place. A great way to get round 5 of the championship underway here at Brands Hatch. So John Mickle still scoring points, but it was Marcus Pett who took the win. James Hall-Morton 2nd, John Mickle 3rd, Cy Haraway 4th from Will Gibson and Miles Rudman. Rob Fountain 7th, holding off Connor Mills, then Sean Smith. Nathan Anthony in the 29 van, completing our top 10 ahead of Ricky Leggett, Rob King, Paul Simmons and Mike Schlupp. Nick Bridgman was next from Gerard McCosh and Phil Turner. John T. Norman and Bill Reid, sadly the non-finishers. Fastest lap stayed with Cy Haraway. Leaders down in victory lane, and they're about to be accosted by Barry Welch.
Well, I thought Anglesey was good, but we're continuing the success here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We was more than happy with a weekend over in Wales last weekend, and yeah, to start this weekend being quickest in warm-up and winning that race, it's a dream start.
James, another good win there. As we said, all about consistency.
Yeah, that's all it is. Points make prizes, and at the end of the day, the car's come home in second. Decent amount of points. There's 4 wheels still on it, and obviously, lap after lap, I had a quick glance in my mirror who we're about, because I was picking markers up and I was hoping that us two would just get gone, but it wasn't the case, and there were a big gaggle of about 6 or 7 of us, so I'm happy that we have finished and it's in second. That'll do.
John, another good podium there. Now we had the lead there, then that safety car came out.
Yeah, safety car came out. Didn't make much difference, the safety car. The boys teamed up and got by me, bump drafted down the straight. That's what Legends is all about. We were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But another good top 3, and we'll just keep taking them all day.
Now, Gerard, I've seen you over many years racing these Legends cars. A firm family favourite, especially with Napoleon the Pig on the back there as well. How are you finding it nowadays with all this competitiveness going on the grid?
It is very, very close at the front now. I get a chance to watch for a few laps as they go around clearways, and I just see this train of vehicles, very, very fast indeed.
One of our gentlemen races you nominate to go off towards the back of the grid and enjoy the racing. You're not here for the points for the championship, it's purely for the joy of racing.
Purely and simply, and at the moment I'm getting good racing with Bill Reid, and Phil Turner's coming along, leaps and bounds, so 3 of us at the back should have a bit of a dice, I hope.
So having a dabble in, 2 or 3 events of this year, so Brands Hatch was a bit of a firm favourite with you. Where else are we going to see you?
Planning Donington in August, and then back here for the firework meeting at the beginning of November.
Now, our viewers know you for many years, but more Napoleon the Pig, 3rd generation, I believe.
Indeed. The first Napoleon, who was about half the size of this one, met with a fatal accident at Knock Hill when he fell off and was run over. So I got one a bit bigger, and that lasted for a while and had to be consigned to the back quarters after he went white, having been overwashed.
Oh, okay.
And this one, it's about 12 years it's been on the car. I picked it up at the service station just before you cross the Queen Elizabeth Bridge. And it was there, and it just said, "I've got to come with you." And he's been there ever since.
Si Haraway, championship leader, is on pole position in this reverse grid, so he did a good race in race number 1, coming through from 4th from the back, therefore. Front for this one, as is Sean Smith in the 21, and on the second row, Will Gibson and Miles Rudman. All 4, the top 4 drivers here in this race, have won races this year. There's Gerard going through shot, but look at this, very tight, and a good start by my book, and it's Si Haraway that leads. Sean Smith in black and red to the outside line, Miles Rudman in black and yellow, the 7 around the outside of row 2, Connor Mills is on row 3, in car with Nick Bridgman, the van of Nathan Anthony up ahead to the right, John Mickle coming through as well in silver. John still an impressive 3rd in the championship. There is Phil Turner in the 247 car, one of the drivers that runs off the back of the grid with Gerard and also Bill Reid. Good to see Bill out in this one, but it's Si Haraway leading. Sean Smith in 2nd, got a little bit of a Mr. Whippy on going down there through Graham Hill Bend. Will Gibson therefore closes up, but hasn't got enough momentum to challenge into Surtees. Miles Rudman in the black and yellow 7 next up from Connor Mills. Rob King in the 74 is next. You can see that Rob Fountain quite near the front as well. Nick Bridgman about to be challenged by John Mickle. John goes to the inside line and should effect the pass. Can't believe we've got to round 5 of the championship and John has not taken a win so far yet this year. Worst result for John, a brace of 8th positions on Anglesey, but still 3rd in the championship. Through goes Nathan Anthony in the van, and Nathan running well. Norman in the 43. You can see John Mickle's got an awful lot of work to do this one from the back of the grid, and that's the key to Legends racing, is that it is mixed up grids for races 1 and 2. Top boys of course start at the back of the field, having scored the most points in the 2 heats, start at the back of the field in race 3, which we'll see. Will Gibson challenging for 2nd place, so Si Haraway's not got everything his own way at the moment. trying to pull away, and he might be grateful for the battle behind him. Although, having said that, these two and possibly three could work together and use the draft, a little bit of bump drafting. Let's see whether Will Gibson is going to do that. Is he going to hook himself up? Yes, it looks like he is. The two cars cut a bigger hole through the air, and Sean Smith takes the lead. Cy Haraway is dumped down into third place. Will Gibson up into second, and now Will have a go at the 21 car of Sean Smith out front to see if he can get past. Haraway might get picked up by Miles Rudman. Cy goes wider, sweeping racing line into Druids. This could afford him good momentum going down the hill in towards Graham Hill Bend. Keep your eyes on the black and yellow car of Miles Rudman. Connor Mills looking a bit sharper in this one as well. The blue and silver car in fifth place at the moment. John Mickle is still making progress. He's cleared John T. Norman and heading up towards another top six finish maybe for John. The next target for him is going to be Rob Fountain, the former champion. John Mickle won his first title the year after Rob Fountain won his in 2000, so John's first championship in Legends 2001, and he's stayed with this formula. He's had a few forays in other things, was front runner in Ascar, the American stock car racing at Rockingham, and had a dabble in pickup truck racing as well. As Nathan Anthony goes to the outside line as Mike Schlupp in the number 3, Mike's best result so far this year, 11th place on Anglesey, which was our 4th race of the weekend there. And John Mickle's teammate is Mike Schlupp, so Mike gets a little bit crossed up there, coming under pressure from Nathan Anthony. Marcus Pett is in behind. Marcus having to work hard through from the back of the grid, and not really making the progress that we might have expected from Marcus. James Hall Morton, similar, just goes to show how hard it is to come through the field. Connor Mills on the inside line here is going to make the pass, looks on the inside of Miles Rudman. Connor now 5th in the standings, just under 100 points down on Marcus Pett, which he may well get back in this race, so possibility of Connor going 4th here, depending where Marcus finishes. Will Gibson goes for the lead, dives down the inside line. There's the shoveling passing Sean Smith, and he's sure going to come back down the inside line side by side there as well, with Miles Rudman and Connor Mills on the inside. Connor trying to head up into 4th place. Smith's back into the lead though, side by side the two leaders into Druids. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is very much what Legends Cars Racing is about. Cy Haraway coming in the mix as well now in 3rd place. So Gibson grabbed the lead at Paddock. Sean Smith gets it back at Druids, and now Gibson has got the attentions of Cy Haraway, who in turn has got the Miles Rudman behind him, and Cy Haraway right in front of him. So Connor Mills challenging Haraway. Mills, who runs with Matt Roach Racing, and the two Pro 24 cars providing the bread of the sandwich at the moment for the MRR machine. But getting away now is Sean Smith. So Sean Smith starting to build a little bit of a lead. He won the first day's 3rd race at Anglesey, so he's already had a win this year, as Cy Haraway goes up into 2nd place. So Haraway now 2nd. Will Gibson down to 3rd. Fastest lap of the race at the moment is with Marcus Pett, who's away back, but just goes to show how hard it is to come through. There's Marcus going through shot now, just ahead of James Hall Morton. Paul Simmons in the 51, not having the fastest of days. Paul's best result so far this year, a 5th, a brace of 6 positions. And he's chasing Nathan Anthony, who in turn is chasing the black number 3 of Mike Schlupp. Phil providing some terrific racing as ever. Rob King up ahead of Ricky Leggett going out of shot. And there is Marcus Pett, fastest man on track, up ahead of John T. Norman, who missed our first round of the season in the Sabre number 43. And John T. having a decent run of it at the moment as the cars cross the line once again here. Race leader still Sean Smith, and now he's got in front. He used a bit of bump drafting to get in front, but now he is in front. He'll want to try and break the toe and get away. On board with Will Gibson. Cy Haraway immediately in front. The 21 car is not breaking the toe at the moment, so here's the leader in black and red. Cy Haraway in black is 2nd. Black and blue 3rd place. Will Gibson in the 57 car. Miles Rudman not closing in on the lead trio at the moment, but I'm sure he will make a super effort to do so, as Will Gibson Gets right onto the back bumper once again of Cy Haraway. They don't want to let Sean Smith get away. And it's Smith out front at the moment. How appropriate. Panache written on the side of the car. Very appropriate. Great driving style from him out front at the moment as they come through Clark Irvin onto the Brabham Straight once again. On board again with the third place man, Will Gibson. Is he going to have a go at the outside line here? Or is he going to be bump drafting? Cross the line they go. It's bump drafting for now. They pull out and they go high and wide. Cy Haraway looking for the leaders to go into paddock. So Cy Haraway now the leader, taking the lead at Paddock Hill Bend, now up into Druid. Sean Smith is on the fight back again, as he was when Will Gibson took the lead from him at the same corner a few laps ago. But it's very definitely, again, a 5-car race for the lead here at Brands Hatch. Miles Rudman 4th, Connor Mills in 5th place, who led the championship, remember, after the first 2 days racing of this season. So Mills, well, he knows all the tracks well and he's quick wherever he goes, but he just seems a little bit down on power at the moment, Connor Mills, but he's still in a handy 5th place. Rudman ahead, but it's Cy Haraway the race leader, and Sean Smith now will be thinking about tactics, how to get back at the championship leader. Remember, Smith 5th in the standings, across the line they go, and he goes out wide. That could leave the door open for Will Gibson to come back through. Smith goes back to the racing line. No, tries the outside line again. He's going to now. Will Gibson gets on the back end, and they bump drafted. That didn't work for Will, but it did work for Sean Smith, who goes back into lead position. Looking back from Will Gibson's car, it's Miles Rudman still there. So Sean Smith the leader. Cy Haraway is in P2, still the championship leader. Connor Mills all over the back of Miles Rudman. This could still go any way of any of these 5 cars. So once again, a 5-car battle for the lead in Legends cars. And this doesn't just happen on the balloted grids, it happens on the faster guys off the back finals as well. Absolutely superb racing. If you haven't been to see Legends racing in the flesh, you really do need to come along and see it. If you wonder where we are, rewind the programme and have a look at the calendar at the start of the show. Now as Cy Haraway challenges for the lead and gets it back at Paddock Hill Bend on the last lap. Sean Smith for the 3rd time is demoted into 2nd position. Now can he fight back for the 3rd time? Connor Mills is going up on the outside line of Miles Rudman, and Sean Smith is having a good go here. Cy Haraway gets a tad crossed up there at Druids, and it's still only 1 of 5. Smith chasing, Haraway the leader. Will Gibson is 3rd. There's contact. Oh, John T. Norman spins around in 43. I think he was on for his best finish there, as Sean Smith goes to the outside line. That's not the conventional way as they go into Surtees, but he's still in 2nd position, and Haraway is still there in lead position. Cy Haraway looks like he's got this one now very much in the bank. Will Gibson in 3rd. Sean Smith is in 2nd place, unless they get a bit of bump drafting. Now here he's going to have a go. I said that Haraway got it. Smith's got the lead. Smith takes it side by side by side across the line. Smith, Haraway and Gibson, your top 3 here at Brands Hatch. 4th went to Connor Mills, ahead of Miles Rudman with Rob King in 6th. What a race. Look at this. Look how close that was. I thought that was over as they went through clearways for the last time, but Sean Smith had other ideas. So too did Will Gibson. That is, again, how close Legends racing is, and I'll tell you what, we've had many close finishes like that this year. Smith from Haraway and Gibson, Connor Mills 4th from Miles Rudman and Robert King, Ricky Leggett 7th from John Mickle, James Hall Morton 9th, Rob Fountain completes the top 10. Marcus Pett came through from the back for 11th ahead of Paul Simmons and Nathan Anthony. Nick Bridgman 14th from Mike Schlupp. Then John T. Norman recovering for 16th ahead of Bill Reid, Gerard McCosh and Phil Turner. All cars finishing. Fastest lap went to Marcus Pett. Sean Smith into victory lane. The drivers thoroughly enjoyed that. Let's hear from our winners.
So successful career in rallying and now Legends, top slot as well.
Yeah, it was really good. It's a long time since I've been in rallying now. It's a long time. Yeah, no, really good. It's nice to be at the front. Nice, the lads have worked so hard this week. Matt Roach Racing, all my lads, everyone, a massive team coming from Anglesey, having not a lot of time. They've done so well, keep all the cars together.
Just a 5-day turnaround since the last event, and a pretty packed weekend this weekend as well. One more race to go. So where do you start the next one?
I'll be near the back. I think we first race. I think we're about 8th. and obviously the front in that one. So we're going to be near the back, so we'll have a bit of work to do.
Si back on the podium, good to see, and good for those championship points because we were leading as we came into this round.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, for me, it's all about picking out those points. I know there's an extra 15 for winning, but Sean was a well-deserved winner there. It's good to see Will back on the podium where he belongs as well after a bit of bad luck at the start of the year. So hopefully we'll do the same again in the final, maybe in a slightly different order.
Well, great result there. Another one for the points and good towards those championship.
Yeah, it's great to get back on the podium. After the monster crash here at Brands, I just want to say a big thanks to the old man, Janine, Rick, Karen, Nick, everyone that's helped us get the thing back together. It's probably quicker than it was before, so we're chuffed. If it wasn't for me, we may have got a step or two higher in that last race, but I missed a gear coming and start-finish line, so I've got to kick myself for that one.
Nick, second year in these Legends. Take a bit of getting used to. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, we're finding it okay. This year it's really starting to come together, hopefully. Last year's a bit of struggle with a lot of fast people out there.
Now, the 68 machine, new livery, used to be the 66 machine of the very successful Mr. Whiteleg.
It does. That's got a bit more pressure to live up to number 66. The car is quick. You just need the driver now.
Having said that, you were sort of midway in the old championship table last year. That's no mean feat in year one. So what's the aim for year two?
We'd like to be in the top 10 this year. That's our active our goal to try and hit.
Now, only been about 5 or maybe 6 days total since the last round. It's a fairly quick turnaround calendar-wise. What's that like as a team, prepping the car and just getting your mindset in it, as well as trying to balance family and work as well?
Being told last round not to smash up the car and keep out of trouble, which we managed to do, and most people did on barring one, because of a week's a short time to get the car ready for the next week.
I'd say you probably spend 2 or 3 months actually polishing it and getting it ready for the first round, and it's pretty rapid fire, isn't it?
It is pretty rapid fire, yeah. The last week or a week between races is hard work, but we've got quite a good break now, 2 months to our next meeting.
But every meeting's a double header. In other words, we're racing 2 days, so 3 races each day. That's pretty tiring as well.
Yeah, but plenty of racing in the weekend, and we quite like that.
Nick's certainly improving this year. He's 14th in the standings coming into this round after Anglesey, and he's a driver that you're seeing getting better and better. Hasn't had too much luck so far in this round, hence he's starting off the front with Jonty Norman, who was on for a great finish in race number 2. It wasn't to be. Behind them, Mike Schlupp in black, then Paul Simmons in yellow, then Nathan Anthony in the van, Rob King completing our third row of the grid. 14 laps as opposed to the 2 10-lappers we had building up to this. Remember, top point scorer on the day wins the trophy for the round. It's not the winner of the final. Si Harraway, your top point scorer so far from Will Gibson, then Sean Smith, Miles Rudman and John Mickle tied in 4th place, but a great start by Jonty Norman and Nick Bridgman, who lead into Paddock Hill Bend. Miles Rudman making progress around the outside. I think touches a little bit of the gravel, but he's okay. But it's Norman who leads this one. Nick Bridgman trying to still go around the outside line, as is Will Gibson on the outside line of Sean Smith. Sean third on the standing so far on the day. Very hungry looking Paul Simmons there in yellow, running in 3rd place at the moment. Tell you what, you wouldn't bet against Paul taking a race win, as John Mickle is up ahead here of Marcus Pett. But it's the 43 car of Jonty Norman who leads, and down on the inside line of Nick Bridgman now goes Paul Simmons. Bridgman needs to be careful he doesn't get hung out to dry. He's holding on, he likes the outside line. I suppose it's the outside leg car, isn't it, that he's got? And he's holding on, but 51, Paul Simmons goes through into 2nd position. Jonty Norman gets a lap lead on his career stats. That's superb. Well done, Jonty, having a good meeting here. And look at Rob Fountain. Rob Fountain from 4th is up into 2nd place, challenging for the lead. On board with Connor Mills, past the black car of Mike Schlupp, but it was Rob Fountain who momentarily had the lead. They're 3 wide into Druids. On the very inside is Paul Simmons, who gets the lead away now from Rob Fountain. Jonty Norman in 3rd. Miles Rudman challenging for 4th. Nathan Anthony is in 4th place. Then it's Miles Rudman. Nick Bridgman having a look down the inside line, about to be challenged by Connor Mills, who has to go wide. And then the Chrome 4 of John Mickle coming through. Mickle, I think, is the quickest of the drivers from the back group. So the quick steel car of the multi-champion John Mickle running well and carving his way through the order, and he's going to have to look in his mirrors for the likes of Miles Rudman. Will Gibson, of course, who has scored well today. Super start to our final race. Marcus Pett making progress as well at the inside line. And Will Gibson here about to put a move on Mike Schlupp. He's got pace. Coming down through Graham Hill Bend, looks up the inside line, just about room, but don't think has got the momentum to go through. Mike Schlupp doesn't want to give up the place without a fight. Quite right too, as James Hall Morton heads Rob King in the 74 car. Miles Rudman has dropped back, hasn't he, in the 7? So Miles Rudman maybe have problems. We've lost Cy Harraway, the championship leader, a first retirement of the year for Harraway. Now, how's that going to affect the championship? I'm going to have to do some very quick mathematics here as we watch the battle for the lead between Rob Fountain in 31, challenging the Masters champion Paul Simmons, in car with Marcus Pett. What a resurgence Marcus is having. Was fourth in the championship. Connor Mills just passed him for fourth in the championship in race 2, but he's keen to score some more points here and looks at the outside line now. Inside line for the 21 car of Sean Smith past Nick Bridgman. Here we are looking back from Nick. Marcus Pett sees a gap on the inside line, follows Sean Smith through, bump drafting with each other further up the field. Won't be long before we see Nick bump drafting with those front runners as well. And the great thing about Legends is that if you're a new driver and you've got the courage to go in the mix, then you can get a draw near the front and try your hand off the front early on in the meeting, and then if it doesn't work out in the heats, you could be on the front in the final as well. That's very often how we get a first-time winner in the final. Somebody who's just a little bit near the front gets that little run that they need, and that gives them the confidence then to go on and grab other wins. John Mickle, though, working his way through the field. He's got a long way to go to catch the leaders. Paul Simmons and Rob Fountain working together to try and pull away. Fountain still looking for a maiden win on his return to the championship, but I'll tell you what, it's not far away. Really jumped back into podium pace very quickly indeed, did Rob Fountain. He rejoined us at Donington Park, beg your pardon, Snetterton last year, and had to start off the back being a returning driver, but since he got in the mix he was banging away at podium finishes. And Rob Fountain, come the end of the year, don't be surprised to see him well up inside the top 10. Jonty Norman passed by James Hall Morton. Will Gibson will line up next in black and blue, right on board with Will, who will look at the inside line into Surtees, the left-hander, but Jonty Norman's got that covered. Jonty, another driver who's getting quicker and quicker in Legends, and the whole field gets quicker year by year, so it's not just the front runners that get quick, it's the whole field that does so. Jonty Norman there up ahead of Will Gibson. Across the line goes the race leader Paul Simmons. We've got a group of 4 being chased by a group of 3 cars, and then this battle, Will Gibson to the outside line of early leader Jonty Norman. Jonty quite rightly not making life easy for Will Gibson, who has to go right the way around the outside line. Meanwhile, it's Paul Simmons still out front. Connor Mills challenging for second on the outside of the red and black car of Rob Fountain. Then it's Nathan Anthony. So a lead quartet, 3 cars chasing behind. If they close up, we could have a 7-car dice for the lead, and that would chop the 5-car battles we had in races 1 and 2. Simmons still the leader. Connor Mills busy chasing here for second place, and looks down the inside line at Clearways. A classic Brands Hatch pass. Has he got the momentum to hang on? No, yes he has. So Connor Mills second. Third place is now Rob Fountain. Fourth, Nathan Anthony. Fifth, 6th and 7th led by John Mickle trying to close in. But Rob Fountain picks up the draft on the back end of Connor Mills' car and fast enough to close in and pass Paul Simmons. Simmons loses the lead, and it's Connor Mills now the leader. Rob Fountain didn't quite have enough momentum to take second place, but he's still challenging and looks on the inside line. 31 passes 51. Michael Smith and Marcus Pett are closing in, not that far behind. James Hall Morton as well, out of Graham Hill Bend. Along Cooper Straight they go. And Connor Mills now with the man who helped him into the lead, right behind him, Rob Fountain. Nathan Anthony still in the mix in the 29 car, and you can see the trio of course. We've got Sean Smith in the 21 there as well. Any one of these 7 drivers capable of winning this race. Oh, but off goes Nathan Anthony into the dirt. He recovers but loses a few places, so that's Anthony out of the lead battle very, very sadly in the van as Mills and Fountain go across the line. So it's Connor Mills, the race leader still, and Rob Fountain will be keen to try and break the toe from the third place car. If they can get far enough ahead, they can then sort the race out themselves in the closing stages. But I tell you what, that chasing pack are not going to want to let them go. Paul Simmons heads the group at the moment, chasing them. John Mickle is closed down, the two stablemates. Then it's Marcus Pett. Will Gibson in behind James Hall Morton, gets very close indeed. You can just see them at the back of shot. Nathan Anthony has recovered and is right down behind them as we pick up on two of our three gentleman runners. Gerard McCosh having a dice, as he mentioned earlier on, with Bill Reid. Phil Turner, the other of the gentleman drivers, who elects to start off the back and not get involved with the cut and thrust of the main battle, which is here. And this time Paul Simmons bump drafts with Rob Fountain. Fountain leads, Simmons in second, Connor Mills down to third. John Mickle is fourth from Marcus Pett. We're on board with Marcus now. What's he going to do? Is he going to look at an outside line? Mickle, I think, was thinking of having a little nibble round on the outside line as the sedan of Rob Fountain continues to lead. Sean Smith side by side with John Mickle. Sean's got the inside line into Graham Hill Bend. Sean challenging for fourth position. John has to go a little bit wide, but has more momentum. Marcus Pett now on the inside line of Sean Smith. So Pett challenges on the inside. Is he going to be able to take this? And you can see that James Hall Morton has closed in. He's reeled them in. It's a massive group for lead position here, with Will Gibson at the back of this group as well. And Nathan Anthony not that far behind as well. In car with Gibson, chasing James Hall Morton, passes Marcus Pett. Pett on the outside line, but it's Paul Simmons back in front now. So Simmons in the Bailey car is back there, on board with Connor Mills in third place. We couldn't see Simmons for a moment because Rob Fountain's car eclipsing that. And looking on the outside line, well, I was going to say that Mills was looking on the outside line, but very definitely round the outside was John Mickle, who has teed himself up nicely here to take third place. What a move by John Mickle. Read that superbly, outside line at Druids. He held on, and it gave him the inside for Graham Hill Bend to consolidate third place. Marcus Pett still racing hard, but it's Paul Simmons in the 51 car, the race leader, winner, remember, at Donington Park in the past. Is he going to take another win? Nathan Anthony has recovered superbly and got himself back on the group here as Marcus Pett hooks up with the 21 car. Across the line they go, and now Sean Smith coming back up around the outside line of Connor Mills. So Smith trying to make progress. In car with Will Gibson, still side by side at the moment with Marcus Pett in the 79. Oh, contact between the two leaders, Rob Fountain and Paul Simmons. Oh, we'd have to see that again to work out exactly what happened, but the two of them came together, and it means that John Mickle is now the race leader, having come through from the back two rows of the grid. That's going to negate one of the overtaking points here because we've got very heavily waved yellows. Rob Fountain, I think, is okay. But now Connor Mills challenging John Mickle for the race lead. Mickle the leader, Mills second, Marcus Pett is third. Fourth position is Will Gibson, then Sean Smith and James Hall Morton, followed by Nathan Anthony. This isn't over for Nathan Anthony yet. Across the line they go again, and Connor Mills looks to the outside line. Side by side they go. John Mickle, incredibly, as I've said, round after round, still looking for win number one this year, but he's in a decent position here, and he may well be aided by, well, there's Paul Simmons, such a shame. Paul Simmons was having a fantastic race out front, and he's limping round, probably into pit lane. They might be able to change the tyre, change the wheel, and get him back out for some consolation play. That's a problem for Miles Rudman. So we've got the first and second place drivers in the championship having problems, and the third place man has just been passed by new race leader Connor Mills. Mills leads, John Mickle is second, Marcus Pett coming under pressure from Will Gibson. Now if Miles Rudman is retiring from the race and Cy Haraway is out of the race, John Mickle is going to, Rudman's in the pits. John Mickle here will take second in the championship if he finishes. He's got the lead. Mickle's back in the lead. Passes Connor Mills. And now here comes Will Gibson to the outside line as well. very quick maths. This is going to move John Mickle to within 5-10 points of Cy Haraway in the championship if he manages to win. He's only going to be a handful of points down either way because he's in this lead group. Utter drama on day one of the American Speed Fest here at Brands Hatch, and it's John Mickle out front from Connor Mills. He's lost the lead once, Mickle, but he's fought his way through the field into the lead, lost it, regained it from Connor Mills. These two absolute stars of Legends, the whole field of stars really, of course, but these two we would have expected to be dicing for the championship right the way through the year. It's youth versus experience, and the youth being Connor Mills, who've seen the last lap board, completing lap 13, on to lap 14, chasing the vastly experienced John Mickle across the line here on the Indy circuit at Brands Hatch. Remember, we've got yellow flags at Druids. Connor won't be able to execute a pass there. In car with Will Gibson running in third. Can Will get further up the order? Here they come into Druids, no overtaking here. Remember, Rob Fountain's car parked up, it is safe. They go through and head down towards Graham Hill Bend. John keeping, I tell you what, that's a little bit defensive from John, but not overly so. He looks relatively confident. Let's see about the run as they go along Cooper Straight. John is now defensive, keeping it over towards the left-hand side as they go into Surtees. Number 4 car, you can't make a Legends car too wide because they're 5/8 scale. But Mickle driving superbly here. Connor Mills all over the back. He doesn't want to make a rash move and leave second position open for Will Gibson. It's all about the run to the flag. Gibson here picks up the draft, and he's going to draft with Connor Mills, but it's going to be a first win of 2019 for John Mickle, or is it? Yes, it is, across the line. Mickle takes his first win, and very nearly the championship lead. Here is Paul Simmons, a masterly recovery from Simmons, who's going to finish in 15th position. They got him back out. Great job for the team. Here he is, Paul Simmons, a super recovery, and Cy Haraway, I think, still has the championship lead, but this man, John Mickle, has closed right down on him as we move into day 2 of the Speedfest here at Brands Hatch. Mickle the winner from Mills, Gibson and Pett, Paul Morton 5th from Sean Smith and Nathan Anthony, Rob King 8th ahead of Nick Bridgman, then Mike Schlupp in 10th place, 11th goes to John T. Norman, Ricky Leggett 12th from Gerard McCosh and Phil Turner, Paul Simmons in 15th and Bill Reid 16th. The non-finishers, a who's who of Legends Racing, Rob Fountain, Miles Rudman and championship leader Cy Haraway. The cars come down into victory lane. Look at the camaraderie here in Legends. That's what it's all about. The guys absolutely enjoying their racing.
Great way to run the round there. Progression steadily throughout that race, and it all sort of changed, went into the lead on lap 11 of 14.
Yeah, it was hard work. I mean, we was catching the front 4, they pulled away, we reeled them back in, they were fighting. In the 51, the SB tool car was well gone. Didn't think we was going to catch him. He got took out at the top by the 31, left me in first position, so that was great. Connor was with me, pushed me away. I think the yellow flag did help us out a bit up the top, but it's nice to have the quick steel car back on the top podium.
So we've now got less than 24 hours. We're back out again. 12 hours really, and then the next round.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. Looking forward to it. The weather's nice, crowd's good, Brands Hatch is great. So we just have to see how it goes tomorrow, and hopefully another 3 top 5s.
Connor, well done. Second place after the trials of Anglesey. We're back on the podium.
Yeah. After Anglesey, let's forget about that. And this morning we were still sorting some mechanical failures out, issues with the brakes, issues with the steering, but we've got it all sorted now. So now we just need to focus on the engine, see what tomorrow brings.
They kept on John's case there, but as we come to that final checkered flag there, I thought it was almost going to be a photo finish.
Yeah, I was giving Will the signal to push me, and he picked me up, and I think it was half a 10th in it. So maybe one little jump in the seat might have done it, but I tried to overtake him a couple of times, a few from the end. He closed the door off, he drove well. It was a good race, it was clean, which is the main thing, and yeah, second's not too bad.
Well, we'll meet again, 15th on the grid on the start of that, and then you get a podium, so excellent progress.
Yeah, car has been absolutely brilliant this weekend. Guys have done a fantastic job. I mean, we took our time, didn't rush setup at Anglesey, and we've just smashed it now, so we're really happy. The car's easily drivable. Had a lot of luck with people coming together and doors just opening up, but yeah, over the moon. Just a big thank you to all the guys, Dad, wife, Rick, Karen, Nick. Without those guys, without Blue Sky CAD helping us out and sponsoring us, we wouldn't be here.
Will Gibson, joint winner on the day with John Mickle. Connor Mills third from joint 4, Marcus Pett and Sean Smith. Then James Hall Morton. Cy Harraway 7th from Rob King and joint 9th Nathan Anthony and Ricky Leggett. That's it from Brands Hatch for today. Join us for round 6 next time out to see if John and Will can do it all over again. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.